Whoopsie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Zyori Podcast. This is podcast number 106, an impromptu podcast here on May 24th, 2017. It's 9 o'clock a.m. here on the Pacific Coast, or Mountain Coast for me, but for old Trenty, he is in Manila. So we got an 11 p.m.er, Trent. We are on a 10-hour difference, buddy. Oh, how worlds have changed.
I tell you. I traveled 25 and a half hours in total, and my layovers were, I only had 2, and they were only a total of about 5 hours, I think, or 4 hours, so not too long in comparison, you know.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, one of the flights was exceptionally long. It was like, was it 5? It was like 17 and a half or 18 hours or something stupid. It was like Toronto to Hong Kong. No, it was 15 hours and 20 minutes. That's what it was. Sorry.
Okay.
Getting myself mixed up here.
No, that's pretty good. Usually flying that way, there is a long flight you have to take that's minimum like 10 hours, but 16 or 15 is pretty long. That's definitely on the bigger end that you'll experience. It's hard, man. You got to like get up and stretch in those flights or you like might die from sitting down too long. You know, that's serious business.
I was just looking now in terms of the opposite side. See, I was thinking about this when I was flying, and I was thinking, man, why does it takes me so long to get here? But if you were to do the other side of the world map, okay, so where I am in Nova Scotia, the opposite side of the world of the map for me is southwestern. It's basically the bottom of Australia. We'll just go with that. So, like, that's pretty close to the Philippines. Yeah. I'm essentially going across the entire planet. Like, the distance between my country, from where I live, and Mexico is the same distance as between the opposite side of the planet from my place and the Philippines, which is relatively close. Yeah. It was a long journey.
No, that is one of the shitty parts about where you live. Getting to Southeast Asia is a bitch. I was just in dreamleague over in Sweden. Dude, my travel was almost a nightmare. I actually thought I was going to have the worst travel experience of my life.
Really?
I had my first flight with like a 2-hour connection, but that's the one or it was hour and a half. And that's the one that's always scary because the Denver to Newark is a domestic flight. And then when you get to Newark, you have to switch terminals, do the passport thing, go through the international security. So that is the one time you want a long layover. And I did not have one. My first flight coming out of Denver was delayed because of like wind issues. I don't know. There was some problem. Just the runway was gummed up. We left an hour and a half late, which was exactly the duration of my layover. Totally missed my very first connection, which is the overnight flight from Newark, which is in New Jersey, to Stockholm. So, I thought I was going to be stuck in the airport overnight, and it was going to be real shitty and end up like getting in the day we were supposed to start Dream League or something. But I got super lucky. And the Newark airport, by the way, EWR, it's huge. It's absolutely massive. So you have to run all over the place. Like, you land at the end of the terminal. The service booth to like go get your ticket fixed is way over here, and then you have to like take the bus to get to the other terminal to get to your new flight or whatever. So I wait in line, and this guy, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. He gives me a new ticket, and he says, "Son, here's your ticket. You're now on British Airways. You need to run. And if anybody gets in your way, you need to tell them that you've got a hot connection. All right? That's a hot connection." And I was like, okay, I got a hot connection. And I have global entry, so I have TSA pre-check and stuff. So I'm fucking like, oh shit, I gotta run. I get to the bus place, and I'm like, lady, I got a hot connection. I need a bus right now. And she's like, oh, we're gonna need a bus to Terminal C right now. They brought a bus literally just for me. I rode the entire bus by myself. I got in there, I get to the terminal, I'm like, all right, I'm at 35. Oh fuck, mine's 72. I'm literally like, I carried on my suitcase, my backpack, and I'm carrying my flip-flops, just fucking sprinting barefoot through
I
this
wish I
airport.
could see this actually.
And of course, I'm wearing leggings and one of the moonduck hoodies. And I probably looked like an absolute fucking animal, just knocking children and grannies out of the way. I get to the gate, and it turns out the flight was 20 minutes delayed anyway, and they were like just about to start boarding. So I'm sitting there just fucking literally having a heart attack in the corner, like, and I got on the plane. So it ended up being okay. I only got in like 5 or 6 hours later than I was supposed to. So I was supposed to be in at like 3 p.m. and I got in at like 8 or something. So it wasn't that bad, but it made my total travel like 23 hours instead of the 15 or 16, which is pretty normal to get to Europe. So it was still pretty brutal. I mean, it takes about 23 hours to get from Denver to Southeast Asia if you have decent flights. So that's it was not a great experience, but hey, I fucking made it. That's really what matters, Trent.
That's what counts. Man, running through the airport it's pretty funny. I just sprint. I don't care. I don't care if I look like an idiot. If I have a flight, I am just like running as fast as my legs can carry me. I'll just like throw the suitcase over my back. I'm just going. You know, someone's in your way. It's like, excuse me. Nope. I had to run through Philadelphia like that.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, you don't want to be a dick, but at the same time, you know, it's the airport. Everyone's a bunch of strangers. It's a fucking dog-eat-dog world. If you want that upper overhead baggage space, you got to get to the fucking front of the line, you know? And you're never going to see those people again anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about that. I never use the overhead baggage. I don't even bother. I'd be the first one on the plane. I don't throw my bag up there. I always put it under my feet because I always just take a backpack. But, well, I don't take it. If I had a carry-on, of course I would. But I've been thinking, like, you know, if I could take that overhead backpack, I could put my feet down there and get a little more room. And that thought just, like, never really occurred to me.
Well, you know,
and I get pretty cramped on there.
I try not to check bags if I don't have to. I really don't trust the airlines. And sometimes it's not even their fault, but like if you have a delay, kind of like I had, your bag doesn't always make it on the plane with you, so then it gets delayed and gummed up, and it's just, when in doubt, I always try to just take carry-on bag, backpack, and then travel relatively light. I mean, the only times I check a bag these days are if I'm bringing camera gear or if I'm going to TI, because TI is usually like, you know, 2 weeks, and if you're bringing like 5 suits
and you need all your suits.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to like not check a bag with all that shit, you know.
I'm more surprised you can get a suit in a carry-on bag.
Oh yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good folding techniques out there, Trent Packs. Don't
you got the knowledge, man.
I have definitely spent a few hours watching YouTube videos and practiced folding, so I can try to get stuff there without it being wrinkly, you know.
Jeez. Oh shit, I have to do that today.
I mean, dude, we're used to hotels that come with irons. Not every hotel in Ukraine comes with an iron. Let me put it that way.
That's true. Hey, I'll have you know, I had to ask here. He said, "Would you be needing an iron?" And I said, "Yes, damn right, I will be needing an iron." They had to bring me one.
Wow. Well, I think it's that they think people will abuse it maybe or something. You just have to request. It's like a cot, you know? It doesn't come stock standard. You got to request the upgrade. You know, also fun fact, at most hotels, you can get a free toothbrush and toothpaste and stuff. They have these little like travel kits, and if you say, hey, my bag got lost, it had all my toiletries, do you have anything? They'll usually give you So if you're ever in a pinch and you realize, oh, fuck, I didn't pack any toothpaste. If you ask the front desk, 9 times out of 10, they'll have some and they'll just give it to you.
Pretty good.
Or a toothbrush. Or if you realize that your toothbrush fell out of its bag and it was just in that little dirty, sticky pile on the bottom of your backpack and you just want a new one, the front desk has got your back.
Well,
I don't know, man.
I made it here with all my bags, which was good. I did forget my dress shoes. I took my dress shoes, my running shoes, and a belt, and I put them by the door. And something in my brain just completely forgot about those 3 things. So I have my dress belt, but I don't have my everyday belt. I don't have my running shoes, so I can't even use the gym, even though I have the rest of my gym clothes, which apparently it reeks of paint anyway. Cap went and abandoned the gym.
Really?
I asked him this morning if it was any good. Yeah, and he said, no, it reeks of paint fumes because the whole place is still like under construction. Yeah. So yeah, now, so here, I'm actually still wearing them. So these are the only shoes I have at the event. They're not like gym shoes, so it's not too bad. You know, they're dark. I can get by. Yeah. They're a little dark. They're like kind of gray, so we'll see. I really don't want to go to the mall and buy new shoes, but I also do need new black shoes anyway.
I mean, aren't you in a part of the world though where you can get like, isn't that a thing? A lot of stuff is manufactured around there, so you can get it cheap and it can be decent quality.
Man. All my clothes are like from here. I was like checking the tags when I was packing it, and I was like, "Oh, you're going home. Back you go." Why'd you even bother?
Well, there you go. This is the time to stock up, man. Get yourself a new suit while you're there. You know, drop a couple
I have
bills.
to find time to get to the mall and stuff, and it's tough. You know, you shouldn't go alone, right?
That's
that stuff.
Well, so how is it, man?
Over there.
Did they hook you? Is there like a security force with you guys and stuff? Like, is it scary? Have you felt in danger yet?
No. I mean, we're like in Manila, right? It's like. Yeah, there's like pickpockets and shit. It's just like traveling anywhere else, but it's fine.
But you're in like the most built-up part. It's kind of like the downtown area.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like when you like come into the hotel, they have the guys that check every single car for like bombs and shit, which is kind of crazy.
Really?
Yep. They have like the little mirrors they run along the side. They got some drug sniffing dogs. So.
Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. I guess they are very serious about drugs out around there.
Yes, they are.
I heard one of the like scams or whatever though that's pretty scary is they'll like if there is someone that's corrupt, they'll put something in your bag when you're not paying attention.
The bullet.
And then like a bullet or like weed or any illegal drug, really. And if they find it, then you have to like pay to get out of it or whatever. Like a whole trap.
Yep.
It's scary,
it's
man.
kind of scary. I thought about that like well, I was surprised because I checked my bag in Halifax, and all I did was literally my luggage went on the conveyor belt. Like when I first walked in the airport, like within 2 minutes, I just walk in my Halifax airport. I just go to a little self checkout, press a little thing, print my baggage, throw it on the cart, and I didn't see my bag until Manila. I didn't have to do it. Like I didn't have to take it out and go anywhere with it, and like
that's
no one
great,
even like
dude.
looked in my bag. Yeah, it was great, but I was just like. But I was thinking about like perhaps shrink wrapping it somewhere along my way. I thought maybe I'd have to like do the old like, oh, you pick it up and they look at it and then you know.
Yeah.
That was not a necessity.
I noticed this trip. This was my first time traveling with global entry, so I had like the upgraded shit the whole way and the special lines. And it really makes the airport experience a lot better. Like the lines are super short. I don't have to take my shoes off anymore. I don't have to take my laptop out of the bag. And it varies by countries. But I mean, it feels like in Sweden, when I got to the Stockholm airport, there were like 5 people in line in front of me. I didn't have to take my shoes off. I took my laptop out. It took 2 seconds and that was it. And it's like, it didn't even feel like they searched me, But then at the same time, I thought about like, well, I don't have anything. I'm wearing fucking leggings and flip-flops. Like, taking my shoes off would not be a big deal. There's nowhere on me to hide things. I feel like that's part of my traveling strategy. They just look at me and go, all right, this fucking weird guy's not carrying any weapons. Let him on.
All right. My traveling strategy was I found sweatpants with zippers, and my God, what a flight. Oh. I was at the Salvation Army with Sarah Lynn. And we're just I forget what we were there for. But I said, I'm going to go look and see if I can find sweatpants with zippers. I go to the men's section. There's 5 pairs of sweatpants. I'm like, all right, well. Oh, no, it was a Value Village story, which is basically the same thing. But anyway. And the first ones I opened, I pulled them out. And they're just sweatpants with zippers. I was like, it happened. It was great. So, yeah, fully zippable. I could, like, shove my passport in there. And, like, you can, like, fall asleep on the plane and not be in a panic. You know what I mean? You don't want something to fall out.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I usually don't rely on pockets much. I pretty much just...
You could, though.
I use my hoodie pocket. That's the one that I use. And that's it. I put one thing in the... I usually put my phone and a bottle of water in the little net on the chair in front of me. And then that's it. I try to go minimalist when I fly. Like I usually bring a book or a tablet, and I spend a lot of time just sitting there listening to music. I feel like it's like a rare kind of meditation time for me where I'm able to just kind of zone out, not be distracted by Wi-Fi or something. And I just like to listen to music and stare straight ahead. I usually do that for a few hours, and then on the long international flights, I just binge movies. I like to watch shitty thrillers.
Yeah, same here, right? Oh, I'm so glad. You know what's on there right now is Gone Girl. I actually love that movie, but unfortunately I'd seen it. And I was like, damn, this would be the perfect time to have never seen Gone Girl. But I like that movie.
I actually watched that on a plane for the first time. And it's great because like even if it's a shitty thriller,
movie.
You just want to know, like, I need to figure out how this is going to end, And
you got the time.
Yeah. I can't stand watching dramas or slow movies though, because it just reminds me that I cannot leave, that I'm stuck here, and that I have no other option.
You have no idea what I accidentally did. I watched Silence, that new Scorsese movie, without even realizing it.
The one Sunsfan hated?
The one Sunsfan warned me. I forgot to tell him when I was talking to him today. And like all I saw was Liam Neeson and like samurai shit, and that's what I saw the picture, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I read the description, and I'm pretty into Japanese history because I did like a course on it in university because one of my professors was very well versed and did a bunch of his studying in Japan and stuff. So I know a lot about the culture and how it developed due to like opium and the wars and everything like that. So I find it very interesting. And when I saw it was about the Christian like missionaries and stuff, I was like, oh, that's actually really interesting. Like I know a little bit about that. Oh my God, it's so long and it's so bad.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I agree with you. The general premise is interesting. That's something that you could make a cool movie about, but it's done in that super just like...
It was so slow.
Oh, director jerking him off the whole time, and it's all these long cinematic nature shots. It's just so... It's like you could have done it in half the amount of time and had a bigger impact. It's just this
exactly. And it was...
Oh my God. Worst airplane movie.
It was terrible. I made a horrible decision. Do not watch Silence unless you maybe watch it in 2 parts. Maybe that would help. I don't know. The thing that really bugged me the most was that Liam Neeson's on the cover. And all right, well, don't listen. I guess for the next 10 seconds, if you don't want to be spoiled about a terrible movie. But he doesn't show up until the last 30.
Yes, he's barely in the movie.
He's not even in the movie. It's I mean, how much dialogue does he have? Like 5 paragraphs, maybe, probably less.
Yeah, something like that. You see a lot of pictures of him, and
bad.
you hear a lot about his character, but he doesn't really do much in the story. It's kind of a debate moment. They bait and switch you with the Neeson. You know, I actually watched
kind of with Kylo Ren too. That guy.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't really in it that much either.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He got ditched pretty early.
Yeah, a lot of it is that fucking guy from the Facebook movie. Was it Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, I didn't recognize him. I've never seen that.
Yeah, he's the Spider-Man dude. He played one of the Spider-Mans. Anyway, I'm not a big fan. What was it called? I watched a shitty movie, Collateral Beauty, the Will Smith one. I think it's like 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's Will Smith's newest movie. Edward Norton's in it. Same thing. I was like, dude, Will Smith, Edward Norton. All right, this movie sounds interesting. And all right, I'm going to spoil this fucking movie right now, guys. It's terrible. Literally, I'm doing you a favor. It starts out, first 5 minutes, Will Smith is an amazing marketing person in Manhattan. He's like the go-to guy at this edgy marketing agency. And then his kid dies very unexpectedly. All right? He gets depressed, and then it jumps 2 years in the future, and he's just refused to do anything at work. So he built this amazing company. He owns the commanding share of shares, but he refuses to participate in any board meetings, any votes, and they have a serious offer to sell the company for some bajillion dollars. So Edward Norton leads the rest of the panel to... They hire actors, and they find out that through their private investigator that Will Smith has been writing letters to love, death, and life, just putting them in the mailbox, and then they steal them and they read them, and they hire actors to play out like the Grim Reaper and like a representation of life and all this kind of stuff, right?
What?
So then, right, they work it up, and they have the private investigator film Will Smith talking to these actors, and then they digitally edit out the actors and show it to Will Smith in a board meeting to try to prove that he's crazy. They have this footage of him like talking to himself on the street, seemingly, because they've edited out these people. So they convince him that they were imaginary and he was hallucinating so that he'll relinquish his shares and say, all right, I'm not fit to run the company
and shit.
Yeah. And then that's it. And then the movie ends, and then the twist is that the therapy session that he's been going to, it turns out that the lady in it is actually his ex-wife and the mother of his dead child the whole time, and you thought she was just a counselor that he made friends with. It's a pretty fucking lame twist. It is literally the worst movie I've seen in the last decade. It rightfully deserves 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. Complete
13%.
garbage.
Wow, that does sound like an awful movie. Wow. Congratulations on picking that one out. What's worse though? That actually sounds worse than Silence. Silence, yes. I was at least legitimately interested in the history of it.
Yes, at least Silence was based on an interesting piece of history that a lot of people don't know that much about. You know, Christians and Buddhists fighting in Japan.
Yeah.
And it also it does have good cinematography, right? The problem with that movie is it's too long and boring and just like clearly this director like just jerking himself off late in his career, you know, but it does have good cinematography. If you want to sit there and be like, oh, wow, look at these slow-moving macro shots of the mountains of Japan. It really does,
actually.
You know, then it's okay. It has some merits. I'm having trouble seeing any redeemable qualities about Collateral Beauty other than, like, the first 5 minutes where you think Will Smith's going to be this awesome role model guy and the fact that Edward Norton's in it and he's just kind of interesting to look at. I mean, I don't know. It's fucking terrible.
I tell you, speaking about Collateral Beauty in a sense, as well as just like unexpected serene terrain, I suppose might be the term. I thoroughly enjoyed my layover in Hong Kong. My God. I had a professor that did a lot of work in Hong Kong. And so he's talked about it a lot because my major was geography, of course, and I did a lot on cultural geography and human stuff. But when you're not talking about the past, a lot of the current and the future stuff, I did a lot of courses on transport. So like cargo shipping and just like general roads and highways and shit like that. And Hong Kong is a massive cargo port city because of where it's located between between like going through all these straits and everything. They head in towards Europe, and then of course through all of Oceania. So he go on about Hong Kong for hours and how he used to work there and how he loved it and he did his stuff there. But my God, what a beautiful airport! Have you been there before?
I have actually. I have not been to Asia that much, but I had a layover in the Hong Kong airport when I was flying home from Malaysia for the Dota 2 major All-Stars in 2015. It's really big. It's a very impressive structure. It's massive, but it's really nice. One thing that confused me...
And like the glass on both sides, though, and like the hillsides, my God. It was just like, I was blown away.
The food there is quite good as well. I forget exactly what it was.
Oh, yes, you told me.
It was some kind of just... I think it was just a classic Korean beef soup of some sort. Like it might have been Japanese, actually, now that I think about it. It might have been an udon. I can't remember, but it was so fucking good. It was very delicious. It was just a great little airport. It's confusing, though, because they use dollars, but it's not U.S. dollars. But it's like Hong Kong dollars, but they just call it dollars. So you guys, I'm like, $13, and then you like punch it into your phone and realize, oh, here, it's not quite the same. But it's a really great airport. I don't know how it compares to a lot of other Asian airports, though. The only other big ones I've been to are Kuala Lumpur, which is it's a weird airport. I mean, it's really big. It's kind of disorganized, but it's all right. It's crowded as fuck. And I've been to the Shanghai airport, which is sort of similar. Shanghai's a massive city, so their airport is obviously big and nice and huge. But
makes sense.
It's kind of like LAX. That was the vibe I got from Shanghai, except it was more efficient.
Well, yeah, I just have to say though that was pretty crazy. And then flying into Manila, it was like lightning storms and stuff, and the sun was setting. It was pretty beautiful, I have to say.
Really?
And then ever since that, we just kind of got in. We got all set up in the hotel. You guys have seen, I'm sure, the video of the talking toilet. I do have a talking toilet as well. It's great. Just you open the door and things go. It's pretty funny. Personal jacuzzi. You know, all the necessities of life. You know, just things that you need. There. Okay. There was also this in my room.
Is that real fruit?
Now, that was my question. How do you like? So I come up to this thing, and I thought it was fake when I first came in, and then I noticed, like, you know how there's like that dust on the grapes?
Well,
let me just I was like, wait a second, I can rub off this dust. And then I realized
it's real fruit.
It's real.
Holy shit!
I have a bowl of fruit. I already ate one of the apples. They gave me 4 apples, an orange, and a thing of grapes.
Damn, dude.
How great is that?
That is legit.
Yeah, man.
Well, fuck.
Oh my God, those grapes are good. That's the first one I've ate.
Damn. Now I'm getting hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. You know, I just realized the Twitch alert sounds for Mott's streamer on. I was wondering, I was like, why is somebody talking about bugles? What the fuck is this? And it's one of the sound bites from the fucking hub where Sax is talking about putting a bugle up the rectum of his dog. So,
yeah, that sounds about right.
Subbers, if you don't sub. Oh God, I don't know how to turn it off. Yeah, but I like traveling to Sweden. We stayed and I was rooming with Brax at Dreamleague, and we had a pretty fucking good time. I'm not gonna lie, it was nice bonding with old Braxy a little bit because we got to the way the schedule worked out is we would end at like 11 p.m. ish Swedish time, and pretty much every day when we get back to the hotel, Canada Cup would be on, or the Beat Invitational, or whatever it's called this season. So Brax would watch that, and I would fuck around on my computer, and we'd talk about the games and stuff, and it was a nice time. There's this weird thing in Sweden where they put the beds awkwardly close to each other, where it's literally there's like an inch between the beds. It's like 2 singles just pushed together, and you just anytime you stay in one of those rooms with somebody, you bond a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
it's
a little touchy-feely.
Exactly. You can't help it, you know? I did talk in my sleep a couple times. I took a couple sleep aids to try to adjust for jet lag, and I woke myself up talking in my sleep multiple times. It was a really weird feeling. That's never happened to me before. But
you never done like the
Yeah, it's like a dream, and then you start to like wake up, and there's like a couple second window there where you're just really into it. And the one dream I remember, like 3 of my teeth got knocked out for some reason, and I asked my mom to help me pay to fix it, and she refused and told me that it was my fault, and I got so mad, and I just woke up and was just like, oh, this is your fucking fault. And Brax was like, you know, you're just talking in your sleep, right? I was like, sorry, man.
For me,
interesting experience.
Oh God, with my wife Sarah, she a lot of times I get up. She leaves work at like 6 a.m. And sometimes that syncs up with me. If I'm casting Southeast Asia, I just get up at the same time as her, make her lunch, we have breakfast, and then she's out. But sometimes I'm casting like Europe or something, and maybe I went to bed late because I was staying up playing pubs or whatever until like 4 a.m. And just like, because that's what everyone else kind of games, because I'm on the far East Coast, so like most people don't start till like midnight, so then we do our party stacks and stuff. So sometimes I'm on like 2 hours sleep when she's getting up. And that light wrestling will like wake me out of like my dreams, but I'm still dreaming. And right when PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds came out and we were like spamming it and all playing it a bunch, she was getting out of bed and she's moving around the room, and I don't know if she turned the light on or something, but I just started yelling at her. I said, there's a guy behind you! Behind you, look out! She was so freaked out. She's like, what? It was great.
It is weird how that happens, though. I've had that a couple times when I've really hardcore binged watched shows. Like if you watch that show 24 for like 13 hours a day for a few days in a row, you start to have weird dreams. Yeah. You start to have like those fucking Jack Bauer dreams where you wake up just like, who's trying to go? What's up? Like, you know, you're just ready to fucking start fighting somebody in 2 seconds. It's I had that with True Blood, too, where I kept having weird dreams about vampires. You know, like, oh, God. Fucks with you, man. You're like conditioning yourself when you binge watch stuff like that, you know? It's weird. Man. So, but yeah, Dream League was a lot of fun, man. I have to admit, I missed doing talent gigs like that. Usually with Moonduck, when we're doing like Betway or like elimination mode and stuff, I have not done that well at delegating, and I always make it too stressful for myself. So the days are just like I'm hosting, I'm producing.
That sounds about right.
I'm probably observing at least half of the games, you know, and because I'm hosting, that means I'm literally on every single game. So it's just this. By the end of it, I feel like a fucking vegetable. In Dream League, they make it so easy, you know. It's like it's a proper production house where they have a project manager, a director, somebody on replay, a dedicated observer, somebody on audio, 2 different camera operators. Like they have a full fucking team. So my job as the host is literally just to focus on the conversations and the content. And like
that is nice.
You know, and you have an in-ear where they spoon feed you transitions, you know, like, okay, MVP ready. Oh, we've got no one on the line right now, you know, and it's amazing. And I just keep thinking about, man, this beats the shit out of self-producing when I'm like, you know, staring at the other monitor, trying to figure out how to get people on Skype for interviews and all this kind of shit. Like it was, I got a taste of that sweet nectar again, Shren. It was fucking great.
Yeah, that must have been nice. Yeah, you're just like, you're just there.
Yep. It's and great. Plus, you know, Slacks makes it nice and easy. He's
true.
A pretty good co-host.
God, dude. I tuned into some of those things, and there was one panel where it was just you, Brax, and Slacks, and it was the what hero ability would you give yourself, and Slacks said I would be techie, so I'd kill myself, and then you said something. You said I would, or what hero would you want to be? And you were like, I want to be Wind Ranger because I've always wanted to be a hot chick, and then Brax, I just want to be Bane so I can put myself to sleep. And I was just in the kitchen cooking while this is happening. I'm just like, oh my god, Moonduck has officially taken over Dream League. Yeah, the panel's dead.
That was great. That was actually one of the most depressing bits I think we did, where Slash just kept saying different kill myself things. I would be gyrocopter so I could launch a rocket and kill myself. No, it was a lot of fun though. I mean, it's great to work gigs like that where you know, they want it to look good and be polished, but they also understand the importance of it being goofy and having fun, and like they really want to break up the monotony. You know, they never want it to be just 3 talking heads for more than like 10 or 15 minutes at most, you know? And it was very targeted where, you know, there were a few times where they said, okay, like between games 1 and 2, try to talk mostly about Dota, you know, but when we're in between series and we've got 20 minutes before the next series starts, fucking take minutes to do some would you
start some Duckers and Dragons.
Well, that was too. Steam went down. We did do an impromptu Duckers and Dragons session. It was pretty hard actually. I had trouble getting myself in the Duckers and Dragons. Like, it's a different mindset, you know, like to really do it well and not make it just stupid. You have to, you know, kind of be creative. And usually before we would do Dungeons and Duckers, as dumb as this sounds, I would review my notes from the last week and think about like, okay, what are some like funny tidbits, or like I think try to remember stuff from like old video games that I can recycle. Like basically try to come up with ways to make it easier for Slacks. Like when you say something really goofy and creative that he can build off of. It's not fun when everyone's just like, I don't, you know, it's like you just have to make up spells. You know, you can literally make up anything you want. So it's dumb if you're just like, I want to punch him. Okay, you do that. You know, like you gotta So anyway,
get the creative juices flowing.
Yeah, so it was a little bit hard to go from quote unquote serious host mode to fucking Duckers and Dragons farting into the microphone mode. But it was a lot of fun. Slacks per usual worked his magic and made it quite awesome. Brax thought it was hysterical that my World of Warcraft character is named Winks, and that I actually used the character that a gnome named Winks. He thought that was the nerdiest fucking thing in the world and pretty funny.
Oh, I'm glad he had a good time. I figured he would. I mean, Brax he's such a natural, honestly. Like the first time when he was just casting down in the basement at Moonduck, I was like, all right, yep, he's gonna be fine. This guy he's a very good at explaining the game. Actually, you know what the first time was? It wasn't when he was casting. It was before, when we weren't sure when he was gonna be able to join us because he was playing in those qualifiers upstairs. And it was when he was giving a pep talk to his team. And it was so funny because he didn't initiate it. I could hear like half his conversation, right? Obviously, and I think it was must have been TC or someone was just like, "All right, Brax, like where's our pep talk, man? Where are you gonna captain us up here? Where are you get us going?" And he's like, I could just hear Brax be like, "Really? Do I have to do this, guys?" And I'm like, yeah. And so he starts going, he's like, "All right, Brink, you're gonna play this hero, and you're not gonna feed." And he starts like going over, like, half making fun and half explaining how everyone's gonna play their hero from the draft, and it was great. And he was just like explaining, laying out the whole game plan, and then once he's casting, he basically does the exact same thing, like the whole game. He's fun.
Yeah, he's definitely coming into his own. I mean, I know Sunsfan and I both have been giving him a lot of feedback and just kind of trying to help him open up a little bit. That's the hardest part for somebody in his position, where you come from being a player and then transitioning into broadcasting, is just becoming more verbose. And part of his appeal, like Slacks was saying at Dreamleague, like one of the things that's good about Brax is that he only really says, he doesn't say bullshit. You know, he only says things when he has something pretty meaningful to say. So
and he'll say like, "I don't know."
Yeah. So it's just a matter of getting him to elaborate a little bit more. And I thought he actually sounded pretty damn good with Owen. I mean, they're probably a good pairing because Owen talks a lot, so it's very natural for him to be able to fill until Brax has something very useful to say, so it doesn't feel like any awkward silence, you know? But I think Brax is also just getting better at being more articulate. I definitely had to cue him a bit on the panel, but that's pretty natural. It really takes a long time. Not a long time, but it takes a couple panels to really get comfortable doing that, like, interject thing, you know? Then that's what we had to tell him. Like, after the first day, Slacks and I were both like, "Listen, man, if you have something to say, interrupt us immediately." And Slacks, it was interesting hearing the Slacks pep talk that was like, "Dude, if you hear me just going on about something stupid, that's literally just me trying to make space or give you time to come up with something good to say. So as soon as you've got it, something that's useful, fucking cut me off. He's good at that. You know, feel free to make fun of me." I was like, "Yeah, dude, like, you can dish it out, you know?" And it takes a little while. It's one thing to say that to people, and it's another thing to feel comfortable doing that in a not cringy or forced way, you know? And that's the kind of stuff that just takes practice. But given that Brax has only been, you know, kind of in caster mode for, 3 months now? Maybe a little bit less?
Yeah, like, basically. I mean, honestly, he did the hub, and then he's only done a couple things since then.
So. Yeah, so I think he's definitely a natural at it. He's got a good way of speaking. He's very easy to listen to.
Yep, I agree.
It's funny, though. Every time he's on camera, Twitch chat is just spamming either Brax is high as fuck or how high is Brax right now. And it's
I know, he just always looks that way.
Yeah. Well, I found out, you know, his one of his parents is Asian. He's half Korean.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's kind of why he looks a little bit like he's high, because he's got Asian blood, so his eyes are a little bit squinty. It makes sense. It actually makes sense.
It really does, actually. It makes a lot of sense.
But it's weird. Like, you look at him, you don't think... I was talking to him, and I was just like, "Oh, shit, really? You're half Asian?" He was like, "Yeah, man." Like, whoa. I had no idea. I actually never would have guessed that. Okay. Whew. The more you know, right?
Yeah. Speaking of pairings and, paneling and whatnot, I found out what I will be doing, which is exciting. Little sneak preview here, guys. Don't tell anyone, though. There's only 155 of you. How many you can blab, really? No, I don't think it's anything secret. We start tomorrow, of course, and I will be casting, at least currently on the schedule. I'm not sure if they're going to make updates, because some people are just like, "Oh, what's going on?" Or like, "I don't know if I want to be on panel," stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so currently it's scheduled. It will be a Trent and Grant cast tomorrow for Clutch Gamers and IG.
Damn, which
that's
actually sick.
That sounds pretty hype. I have to say, very excited I get to cast Clutch Gamers, if that's what ends up happening. It sounds like there's still maybe some questions to what series it will be. Could depend on timings and stuff, too. We'll see. I don't really know what's going to go on. You know how it is. It'll land.
Oh, yeah. So, but is all of this, is all of it in the venue, like on the stage, or is like some of this a group stage that's kind of behind the scenes?
They're calling it a group stage, but everyone starts in the upper bracket. There's no group stage or anything. And basically, our day one is going to be all the upper bracket first rounds, I believe. So we have 4 best of 3s, and I think they're going to do 2 best of 3s at once and 2 best of 3s at once. So we're only going to stream 1 best of 3 and 1 best of 3, and they're all off stage. That's just our first like day to get shit ready, and then we move into the 3 days of stadium.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I know like we're going to be doing Moonduck's going to be hosting the offsite stream today because there's overlap, or well, it's in like tonight, like 12 hours whenever it starts. Well, tomorrow for you, right? But I think the first 3 heats, there's a whole wave that's going to be on a second channel that has remote casters. So it's going to be Mott Brax, then Annie Brax, then Zyori Brax. I think we're doing 3 best of 3s tonight.
Oh, nice, perfect.
So
all right,
yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So we'll be doing a couple.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
We're streaming 3. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we decided the upper bracket finalists, I think tomorrow, or just tomorrow, which is pretty cool. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah. And then I'm doing panel for the rest of the event, which is great. I wanted a balance of both, honestly. So I just wanted to do a little bit, And I'll be paneling. I have a Trent Cap Jack panel, which I think is going to be awesome. I think there's a Trent Grant. I can't remember if there's a Trent Grant panel or not, because we're just Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Supposedly. So the grand final currently says Trent Cap Grant as panel. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it's a best of 5 with me, Grant, and Cap, that sounds fucking awesome. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, that stuff definitely is subject to change. I found like my strategy when I was first going to events was if I'm not completely beat tired, then just try to be in the right place at the right time. You know, there's a lot of times where on day 3 there might be a panel set up where one of those people will be happy to tap out. You know, if you're ready and could stand in for him for a series or something. So. Can be a good way to get some extra face time. But either way, man, that sounds fucking sick. Nice panel time.
Yeah.
Good panelists.
Yeah, very excited. I really hope that works out the way it's set up. Jack, I'm really excited to be here with Jack, too, because this is the first time I've seen him since TI.
That's true. I haven't seen Jack in person in a while. It's been, I think it's actually been since, no, I bumped into him at a summit, but I didn't really talk to him.
No, it would be this TI, though, wouldn't it?
No, remember after TI... Mott and I did that. I did the Russian production for that.
Oh, you did the Russian, yeah, right. I forgot about that.
Was that Summit 5? I don't think, or 6. Maybe it was Summit 5. God, I can't even remember. But I bumped into Jack there. Didn't really talk to him too much. He's busy at those events, man. Dude,
he is busy.
Pretty intense job caring for the foreign players and stuff. Trent, should we talk about Ace a little bit?
Dude, I don't even know what the hell's going on. You have people who are like, some people are like this, and then people are like, no, that, and it's just it's such a blur to the English community. Because who do we trust? Someone just posts a translation, and I'm just supposed to just read it and believe it. I don't know any of their sources. I don't understand it. I'm confused.
No, you make a good point. I think a good source in this kind of stuff is if you see anything on Dota Land or posted by Josh Lee.
Oh yeah, 100%. Did he post anything?
I think he definitely posted one of the earliest translations.
Yeah, I would take that guy's the gospel, dude.
And that stuff wasn't controversial, right? Like Wings banned by whoever, and I think Josh is really renowned for just articulate translations. He doesn't insert any opinion. He tries to make it as word for word as possible, and there's definitely a little bit of an art to that. So, and that kind of stuff, it's just I think he translated stuff that players posted. He translated like the ROTK perspective and that kind of stuff. That doesn't mean that data is necessarily true, right? Does ROTK actually know what's going on, or is he just giving his opinion? That kind of stuff, it's not necessarily verified. But in general, I think Josh and Jack are 2 sources that are very trustworthy and wouldn't really spread misinformation, at least to the best of their knowledge.
Yeah, agreed.
TLDR, Wings were lifetime banned, right? Is it lifetime from by Ace?
Supposedly.
Yeah, because of breaking the contract with Team Wings, and then some information came out that the contract was kind of fucked, and that it wasn't really that much of a violation, and actually that the team org violated it more than the players. So by the players just kind of backing out, it really just made it an easier situation for everyone. And since the players have money now and stuff, they didn't really seem to care. Again, this is my paraphrasing. I might not be 100% accurate. And now, as they've broken up, players have gone to different teams. Some of them have joined eHome, and now Ace has said because those players are lifetime banned, now eHome and eHome K, their youth squad, are also lifetime banned. So this is
not eHome K too. I didn't know that.
I think so. I saw that posted on Facebook.
The collateral damage.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I get a lot of this stuff from my personal Facebook feed of like folks that are really, you know, like the Master Ramas of the world that are very active on Facebook. It's the first thing that pops up in my feed when I wake up in the morning. But there's a lot of stuff on the front page of the subreddit right now. What LGD's officer said about Ace during an interview with Liquipedia is not true. Translation of Ace's online meeting about, you know, it's just, you're right. It seems like there's a little bit of misinformation out there, and I haven't completely weeded through all of it to know. But one thing seems to be for sure, Ace is trying to prove to the world that they got a big dick. They're waving it around.
They are.
And it seems like
it's kind of scary right now.
Backfire. Yeah. It's not being someone in China, it's hard to say exactly what this means because we just don't have anything like this in the West. There is no governing body. It's a total fucking free-for-all, and we all do whatever we want.
Just you guys wait till WASA finally works out, right?
Huh?
That WASA one that they were trying to get on for Counter-Strike or whatever? That's basically what these guys are trying. You know?
Yeah, it's hard. But in China, you know, it's just a lot more unified. And what's interesting about this is it's an organization that governs tournaments, talent, players, and that whole ecosystem. It's not just teams, right? In the West, we have some rules for teams and roster locks and contracts and stuff that people do honor, but it's different in the sense that they honor it because it's business to business with teams, not because there's a governing body that says, we're going to ban you if you break this contract with evil geniuses, you know? So there is sort of a degree of honor system, I guess, in the West compared to China, but starting to feel like Ace is overstepping.
Tell that to NP.
Yeah, overstepping their bounds. Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a sec for sure. I just, the idea of lifetime bans is fucking ridiculous to me. I regardless of the misinformation of exactly what's going on, we come from, or at least I come from capitalist America, where I feel like a lot of this is just business and should be solved in courts and whatnot. You know, you break contracts, maybe you're liable for damages, maybe you owe them money. But like this lifetime ban nonsense is ridiculous. To me, this is like the American style of jail, right? Jail should be reserved for the worst criminals possible, the dangerous ones you want to get off the streets, right? But somewhere along the line, we started throwing nonviolent drug offenders in there, right? Then we just start throwing all these other fucking, it's what, 3% of our total population is in fucking jail, maybe even more than that.
Impressive.
Fuckload, right? We beat Russia and South Africa in that. That's impressive, man. Russia's got a lot of fucking people in jail, right? What are we doing here? So lifetime ban, you can make a case for like think about the match fixers, right? Like Smash, that situation. You might think it's fucked up, and I am definitely in that gray area of like maybe lifetime ban's a little bit harsh, but it makes sense. That is a thing that is in our competitive realm considered the worst of the worst, right? There's nothing worse than anti-competitive. That's the foundation of the whole thing we're doing here with esports. So I think you can make a strong case that that's lifetime ban worthy. Breaking a contract with a team org when both sides were seemingly in some kind of legal wrong, lifetime ban for tier 1 world-class players. Are you fucking out of your mind? That's just not a proportionate retaliation for what happened, regardless of exactly what the details are. That's my opinion.
And the craziest thing, again, like I'm still waiting for all the details to come out. So the craziest thing about all of this storyline and everything to me is the fact that how is Wings not just staying together in the first place? Like, I get the idea that they clearly felt like they had to leave their organization because they weren't getting paid and stuff like that. And well, we'll figure out exactly what was the truth behind all of that, I'm sure, eventually. But they had a direct invite to TI, one would assume.
Yep.
Is it really like, it seems kind of crazy. I mean, to be fair, I guess EG did that as well, right? They had a direct invite, but they wanted to change their roster.
Yeah.
So,
but see, this is maybe splitting hairs, but there is technically a difference between a team org changing rosters and a team disbanding. And this is a disbandment situation. So in the past...
Well, yeah, no, but I'm just saying, are you surprised that as players they would agree to do that? Like,
oh, yeah. When it's like, dude, you're going to be a shoe into TI 100%.
You guys haven't won anything in a while. Things aren't going that hot. But you're still the same 5 players. You have a guaranteed invite to TI. You won it. The standard has been set.
Yeah.
And they just disband. Crazy.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And that is where, not having all of that firsthand information makes that a little bit difficult to assess. But it seems a little outlandish from a third party. Not that, what's the way to say it? Perhaps there is like a degree of honor involved, right? Where the players now, money is not their highest priority. So if they stay together and they feel like they're really not meshing as a team, they haven't been practicing, I think they would rather break up and play with new teams that might qualify than be a shoo-in invite and get last place.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, there's definitely, as you said, the honor.
Yeah, so like I have no idea what the chemistry or the dialogue was like in the team, but if they really feel like it's fucked, there's something to be said for just quitting while you're on top and never coming back again with that same 5, rather than coming back and bombing out.
In terms of recent drama and questions and actually having first-hand information rather than third party like we have to try and do with this whole ace thing, I believe a certain someone was possibly in Sweden in the past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Were you there for the meltdown of NP? Were you there when they got the news, when they got hit hard? Or were you too late? Were you like just out the door?
I think I was too late. Because I have no real first-hand information.
You just missed it, dude. You were so close.
You were
like on the plane and Envy called, basically. That's pretty much what happened, it seems, right?
Team NP banned from DreamHack events for 1 year after withdrawing from DreamLeague for 2nd season in a row. Yep. I have zero qualms with this. 100%. To me, this is a classic free market situation. DreamLeague says, hey, we provide good stuff for our teams and our talent. We pay a lot of money. It's $1,000 per win. Their total prize pool this season was at $180,000, something like that. Teams that don't respect that or don't value that, they don't value those teams. And I think this is a completely appropriate retaliation for this kind of thing, especially since it's the second time it's happened. First time you said, okay, rough. This sucks, but we'll give you another chance. They do it again. I think it's totally fair.
Now, on the other hand, if you're on Team NP and you just got that land invite, would you do the exact same thing? Because Eternal Envy, so basically they were signed up for this months ago because DreamLeague wanted to avoid all the situations that plagued them last year. Head team signed on long in advance, all this talk of the land and everything, the separate qualifiers. And Envy, apparently, according to him, about 20 days ago, I believe, said it's basically, okay, guys, we might be dropping out, which is still a really shitty thing to say. Like, we might. What does that mean? I'm okay. Hey, team, we might need a team for DreamLeague. It doesn't really help you if you're DreamLeague,
Yeah.
So that's kind of shitty, but they got a direct invite to a LAN. 100% guaranteed you will be at a LAN, or we stay and play qualifiers that we haven't even played a single game for yet. And in his eyes, I can see him saying, well, they still have time to find another team. Surely they will. I want to play a LAN and go to TI. I get why they did it. It's really shitty, and I agree the punishment fits the crime, but I also totally understand why NP did it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is, again, this reminds me of a conversation I had with Envy in like 2015 when I was still at BTS. And this was like right after all of the Blog Boys stuff. And he was really like working that kind of that bad boy thing a little bit by exposing all the bad stuff that was happening at tournaments. Some of it very justified, and some of it like, I want to be able to go to the bathroom whenever I want with a private bathroom. I need to wash my hands right now kind of stuff. Some of his requests were definitely a little bit over the line. But I had a really good dialogue with him where we kind of established the idea of the ecosystem of opposing forces, right? Every tournament is based on a triangle. One piece of it, or one corner rather, is profitability, the tournament org making money off of the venture. The top part of the triangle are the fans. There are a lot of things you can do for the spectator experience to make it amazing. The great example is streaming player audio and booths, right? Fans love that, but players absolutely hate it. And of course, you guessed it, the bottom part of the triangle is the players. You don't have the tournament without the players, and there are ways to make tournaments really great for players. You can have these really fair, long formats where they don't have to get up early and all this kind of stuff, but if you maximize on players, then there's no extra fan content, and the tournament probably won't make any money. So every successful tournament has to hit all 3 points of this triangle for it to work. And if you think about it, that usually is the case. And the tournament org at least finds a way to make some money or break even. Fans have a fun, unique experience, and teams are happy via either the massive amount of money they got from the prize pools, or the accommodations, or the prestige, or whatever else it is. So it's just important to remember that all three of these forces are fighting against each other. They need each other for this ecosystem to work, but they are the checks and balances that keep the ecosystem from getting, too far out of control. And think about 10 years ago, CPL, that shitty DirecTV league with Scott Valencia where they ripped all those people off, GGL, all these shitty esports leagues. That's because the ecosystem wasn't there. That one piece of the triangle was overpowering the fans and the teams, right? So it's just, this is a perfect example of team looking out for its best interest, org looking out for its best interest. They repel a little bit, and that restores the balance of power. This is actually some classic Adam Smith invisible hand of the free market bullshit. I love it, dude. This is the kind of shit that makes me hard at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. It's good. And this is we should be glad that this is a reasonable conversation. Envy saying, hey, these are the reasons that this decision made sense for us. Kind of sucks for Dream League, but you know what? We got to look out for number one. Dream League comes back and says, yeah, fuck this. They don't respect us. They're banned for 1 year. Not some, we're personally offended. They're banned for life. I will never speak to Envy again. It's like, no, you get a year cooldown. That's time you won't be able to play in our events. And then after that, we'll reconsider and see if you guys want to come back in. It's fucking great, man. It's beautiful. This is where we want to be moving to.
It's been quite the week.
So I'm
very excited for this tournament, though, because NP are here, of course. And I guess that's the only thing that we haven't really talked about in terms of what's coming up. So Starlighter wrapped up. We had Jakiro and Clockwork. They're owning Heroes. They're owning online. Lots of teams opening Jakiro Clockwork. Seems like a good combo. Darkseers, again, back. Can't nerf that vacuum hard enough. Mm-hmm. Seems like a lot of the big games at Starlighter were kind of decided by, one big team fight, it felt, in a lot of ways.
You ready to see some Troll?
Well, he got that Agi nerf gain. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm sure that'll really hold him back. 6 total agility from level 1 to 25. That's
GG.
Dead hero. He's useless now.
He's still getting banned quite a bit, it looks like. So maybe that'll put him down to second phase. I know some teams were considering banning him first phase. I think Clutch will probably pick Troll if it gets left.
I am actually excited to see how Clutch performs. This is a pretty
very
exciting event for them. I didn't realize how good their results were recently. I was talking to Brax about it, and we were looking at their recent results and stuff on Dota Buff, and they're tearing it up.
They're really good.
They're actually on the cusp, and if they have a good showing here, we could have a potential tier 1 team from C rising up in the ranks that doesn't have Mushi on it. That's crazy for the region, Nothing against Mushi,
so scared,
but it's
though.
I feel like for the past 2 years, the C hope has been these Mushi stacks, and they've fallen short so many times that I'm excited to see TNC and some of these other squads start to step up. I mean, TNC making it to the fucking finals, taking Liquid to 5 games of Star Ladder.
That was so hyped, dude. Man, those were good games.
Yeah, we were kind of watching it again in between Dream League matches, but it was pretty hard.
Yeah, it was really good. Man, 1437 came in there and owned his stock. He pulled a better Jimmy, basically. Unfortunately, it's not TI, so Jimmy still gets tons of credit. But in terms of the short window that he's gotten to play, very impressive stuff so far from 1437. Clearly, just taking a team in a new direction. It doesn't really look like their old stuff. So great drafting, relatively great play. I mean, he had a couple flubs, but that's what you expect when it's the guy who's making all the decisions and stuff and calls.
Yeah.
And he looks good.
Brent, one of the last topics we should probably hit here: the fucking Wisp Arcana, man.
The Eye Arcana.
Will we see it?
I like it.
I like it.
I don't think it's.
Is it worth $100
and everything? Yeah. Honestly, I love Portal though.
Yeah.
I think Portal's pretty amazing. It's one of my favorite game genres or titles or however you want to put it.
Did you ever think?
Cannons.
I agree with you, but it's also interesting to think about. It is the most expensive Arcana that is not tradable, sellable, giftable, or anything. Once you have it, it's yours and it's locked. It costs 3 times as much as every other Arcana. Maybe that's exaggerated because you get additional value for that 100, but still, if all you want is the Arcana, it'll cost you about $100. And on top of that, it's not a new design. They just exported assets from Portal and threw it into Dota. It is the most value Arcana ever created in terms of Valve, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I have never played Portal. I have played Wisp in probably 3 ranked games in my entire career, and as soon as that thing came out, the voice in the back of my head immediately said, I need to get home, buy 55 levels on my compendium, and learn how to fucking play Wisp in the jungle and win some goddamn games with this thing. And it was like the classic devil angel on both shoulders. One side being like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're never going to do that. You're going to play 3 games as Wisp, lose them all, and just get fucking mad and break a cup. And the other voice, but it makes a different noise, dude. Everyone's going to think you're so fucking cool when you stream with that thing. And it's like, it's insane. I think you're cool. But like I know what's going on. I'm like one of the more invested consumers in this situation, right? Being talent in the scene. And I still have that feeling. It's incredible. Like, I don't know what the magic is, Trent. I don't know what that is, but it's just, you want to collect them all, man. It's the fucking Pokemon thing.
Mine is I'll see a hero and like that one Dragonite set. Do you know how many games of Dragonite I played? Like maybe 5 ever. I don't know. But I just love the hero and I like watching the hero, and I always imagined like this game where I'm just gonna play Dragonite, and I was like, I need that spear. The other day I was like, I need it. I have to get that spear.
I need
it.
Like,
why does that come over me? I haven't played Dragonite in like 2 years. And immediately I'm on Steam Market, like I'm looking up the item, like gotta find Steam Market, gotta find the right inscription. There we go. Equipped to my Dragonite. Phew, I will totally use that one day. I did the same thing with Nature's Prophet. I did the same thing with Alchemist, and I never played these heroes. One day Support Alch will be back, and I'll be okay.
I don't know what it is though. Like that, it is just a very real human feeling of like I want to collect, that like it's like the prestige thing, just to look cool, to have the new shiny one. It's just it's truly an amazing feeling,
Speaking of shiny, all right, you get the Sunken Relic tomorrow. What do you do?
Sell it, dude.
Sell it?
It's worth what?
$2,400 ish.
How much?
2,400. Yeah. Oh fuck, that's USD. I've been thinking Canadian this whole. Fuck, that's a lot of money.
What does it actually look like? I haven't seen enough pictures. Is it really that cool?
No. You know those like spinners that everyone keeps talking about? I've literally never even seen a picture of a real one. I just see them in memes.
Yeah.
But you know those things? It's like that's around your hero.
$2,400, dude. $2,400. That's like multiple vacations. That's like that's 4 months of rent, dude. Like, hell, fuck that. I don't need another cosmetic to make something spin. I would sell that thing so fucking fast.
Instantaneously. Even though you can use it on any hero. And you look pretty cool. And literally every single person in the game is going to type something about it.
I mean, that is true. So, listen, if this was a year ago or 2 years ago, I would be like, you know what? I'm probably going to stream. This might make my streaming career work better. I'm going to fucking use this thing. But
that's quite the excuse.
I don't have that desire anymore. It's cool, but people already recognize me in games for just being fucking Zyori. You know how many games people say sniff sniff or like, dude, Moonduck, when's Midas mode? It's almost every
when's
game.
When's the next What the Duck?
Exactly. When's the next Dungeons and Duckers? And it's awesome. I love it. But I would feel like I don't need to not have $2,400 for people to recognize me in game. It's not even an ego thing. It's just I've already... That goal has been marked to some degree, and now money is really a high priority for me. I would love to have $2,400 for no reason. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
dude,
I would can't sell believe it instantaneously. I can't lie.
When Owen was telling me about it, he said it was only $1,100, and I said I would sell it instantly. 24 is like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, there's like all these people that'll get it and never even realize that it's worth anything. That it was just like TF2. Like,
oh yeah. Well, that's That's just
wait till the first guy gets scammed. Oh my god! I'll give you $100 for that, and the guy just doesn't know. He's like, "Wow, $100? Yeah, okay."
Yep.
Happens. Well, they just instantaneously do it.
All the people that are smarter than us have already programmed robots to skim the auction house, and anytime they find something that is that far below the parity price, they just buy it instantly.
Dude, I love those guys because when I instantly need something for that sudden urge to need that Nature's Prophet staff, I just throw something 20 cents under the normal price, and I instantly have it. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks, man.
Yep.
Those bots are great.
Yep, and they're smarter than you and I combined, buddy. It's a sad reality. But exciting times, man. I'm actually getting pumped for TI. Like, there's a lot of stuff on the horizon.
Same.
We knew that this would be a gauntlet in the next, 2 months leading up to TI. But, folks, I can't say much yet. But, Jesus, I thought between Epicenter and Summit, there would be no content for Moonduck. And now it's looking like we're going to have more content than we have casters for over the next, 3 to 4 weeks, which is an absolute insanity. Like, everybody and their mother is trying to get their cards in before TI. It's all about that build-up and, yeah, we just saw that tournament in China announced at the same time as the summit. Like, Jesus Christ, we're like doubling down on tournaments now.
Where did that even come from? I
have no idea. I just saw a post like 150K LAN in China during the summit. Okay.
Crazy.
And then I looked at the team list at the summit and went, okay, well, there's actually still a lot of good teams out there that won't be in Los Angeles. So I don't know. It couldn't end up being an all right LAN. For the viewers, it's going to be one hell of a gauntlet. It's basically just going to be 24/7 competitive Dota.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it'll be like literally tier 1 Dota 24/7.
Because I think it's like a 9 or 10 hour time difference between BTS and whatever time zone they're going to be on. So like, yeah, the broadcast will basically feed into each other. Hopefully Ace doesn't fuck it up. That's a good. We know eHome won't be there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I was actually talking to Breaky before I was talking to you. He asked me if I would do a quick thing for defensive patience. It was like 20 minutes or something like that, where we just did just like a preview of the tournament. You know, he was wondering if I would give him a hand, so I did that. But it was interesting. He right at the end, he gave me a bunch of quick fire questions, and it was just like, say that, you know, it just like try and instantly answer it. And he said, do you think Clutch Gamers will come top 3? And I actually paused because my initial reaction to say was yes, and I had to think, like, am I being crazy? Like, is this just some stupid bias because I love these guys and I've literally been calling them forever? And I still said yes. I seriously think there is a decent enough chance that I'm willing to say that it could happen, that Clutch Gamers are going to come top 3 here, you know? They're up against IG first. I think that's one of the more favorable matchups they could have gotten, right? It's better than being up against, like, OG or EG, I think, in my opinion. And then it's just that one more, and you're, like, basically you're top 3, you know? You just get right into that grand final, you snip through that upper bracket.
No, dude, I'm with you. I don't think it is the craziest thing in the world. I think it is definitely maybe a little ambitious. There's a slight degree of wishful thinking, but it's not impossible. Let me put it this way. I would be surprised if Clutch Gamers gets completely blown out in this tournament.
Yeah, I would, but I view it as being extremely realistic because of Faceless. I mean, how can you not compare the two? It's so identical. And I'm probably going to bring this up on the panel, guys, so here's a sneak peek. But the way I view, like, these guys are both, like I don't even know how to put it. They're like streaming fireworks where they're just like tearing through SCA, right? Faces won everything. They won every single qualifier. Remember with like other teams, Mineski or whatever, couldn't get past them at all. This was before Clutch Gamers even existed. And they get to the tournament and they just burn out completely every single time. Firework ends over and over, every single tournament. And now Clutch Gamers, it just looks so damn similar. And we're for like, they've got literally 4 lands, I believe, lined up. And we are the first one here in Manila. So this is, oh God, I just hope they don't bomb out, you know, like 0-2 and then 0-2 and they're done. That would be so sad.
Exactly. I mean, nothing's impossible, but I have high hopes for that. I think they'll definitely get through more than just 2 series.
That Boombox CM, man. We know the strength,
the
power of that hero, that guy.
I believe
84% win rate on Crystal Maiden in like 20 games or something stupid. Like,
that's actually insane.
Dude, that guy, he puts up the most insane damage numbers too. I remember every single game, the first thing I did when we were cast Clutch Gamers was go to the damage tab and look at Boombox. Because his ultis were crazy. He hits like 3 or 4 heroes every single fight. Oh, that guy was good.
He is. Real baller. He's been around for a while too. I've been casting that guy for years.
Oh, it's going to be good. It is going to be good.
All right. Well, I think we need to
12:05.
Wrap this thing up. Yeah, man. I'm getting hungry. This was like... I can do it right now. Oh shit, let's go! Kind of a podcast. Yeah. So it's been good per usual. The No Note podcast turned out pretty good. I even had an Alex Jones moment in there, so that's good.
Yes, the hotel room is fantastic for anyone who wasn't here earlier. It's very nice. Shout out to the Okada Manila. Yeah, everyone treats. Their slogan is "You are welcomed with an overpowering sense of privilege." And they're not wrong. Everywhere I walk, hello, sir. Here you go, sir. Thank you, sir. Literally, I come out my door, all right, in my hotel room. There's a person who stands at the end of the hall who then goes and hits the elevator button. So there's an elevator when I get there. Damn. All right? That's a little over the top.
Damn, dude. That's actually next level.
They're there all the time. They work like a 6 to like 10 p.m. job or something. I don't know. I haven't gone out in the middle of the night.
I wonder how much you get paid to be the operator of the lift there. And there's one for every floor too, so it must be a pretty serious operation. I mean, they must have shifts, and it's a career path, I guess. That's crazy. Yeah. I've never been to a hotel where I've had that. I mean, I've had like guys in the bathrooms, you know, but that's like that's another level.
That's something else.
Jeez.
Oh right. God.
Yeah, I saw somebody ask about franchising in esports. Too big a topic for this podcast, but one we need to remember to talk about.
Good one for next week. Putting on the notes.
I do still want to talk about Overwatch at some point and have somebody that actually understands what the fuck's going on in Overwatch.
That would be great
to try and educate us, because I feel like it's like the flat Earth thing. There's something I'm missing, like it's not adding up. I don't understand all this ridiculous propaganda about how much Overwatch is worth, and I need someone to explain it to me. So hopefully we can find the right person to do that.
I feel like that would be like searching for an Overwatch truther.
Yeah,
that's like the equivalent of a flat earther, someone who thinks Overwatch is properly valued. That would be a fun person to find.
I think you're right, actually. My God. All right. Well, the search continues. So, all right, buddy. Well, good luck at the event. We'll be watching. Well, not tonight. We'll be casting, but we'll be watching the other stuff. Per usual, guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, this is 106. There's a whole lot of other ones. The most recent ones have been on the Moonduck YouTube, but the old ones are over on youtube.com/Zyori TV. Podcast is supposed to be once every 2 weeks, but it's a little bit hit or miss. So just follow the social medias and you'll know where to find us. And you can get at it on iTunes as well as Google Play if you're one of them mobile people. So that's it. We'll see you next time. Hasta luego, young Padawans.